Hello Capricorn, Elsie here to do your reading. We're getting into the weeklies. Cappies, how you doing? I hope you're well. Thank you so much for clicking here. I appreciate you. I'm here to do a reading that is weekly, whether you get this today, tomorrow, or next year, whenever it might resonate with you. But I'm doing a 3-part reading this time. I haven't done one of these 3-handed readings in a while, so we're going to look at career, finances, and then we're going to end the reading with love. We are going to do an extended as usual. Yeah, let's go here. And at the end of this reading, I'm going to tell you about how to find the extended and also how to book a private reading, if you're interested in that. How are you, Capricorn? Let's find out what's going on for you. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Capricorn. We're going to look at career first, and then we'll look at your finances. Tell me about career. Career for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Capricorn. Oh, okay, good. That's good for your career. Look, Empress is here. We've got, the King of Swords. And we have the King of Cups. I feel like you've been looking over details, is what it feels like. You've been looking over details because I feel that you feel a change is coming. It feels like you're about to make a major change that you've been thinking about and putting the finishing touches on for a while. I want to say that maybe last year was the year that you did the most growth. And I feel like as you step into 2026 that you're ready to make a change. It feels like a big change. And so I feel like you're keeping that change to yourself, but I think that you've been polishing up all the edges, that you've been working out all the details and the facts and all of that stuff as of late. The Empress energy is here. It feels like you're somebody who's making decisions for yourself. I'm going to say you don't check in with anybody. You don't have to check in with anybody. You're likely someone who is single or someone who has spent the year of 2025 making some really hard cuts or really hard truthful decisions based on facts and history. It feels like you are in your career about to make a major change because I feel like you grew in a lot of wisdom over 2025. We're looking at the King of Swords and the King of Cups. These are both masculine leaning energies, but we're looking at the feminine and masculine energy of the Empress. So it does feel like wisdom. I'm going to say that you went through a lot of lessons in 2025. You don't get to be the Empress just because you're a Taurus or a Libra. You don't get to be the Empress just because. You get to be the Empress because you have wisdom and you've learned lessons, the lessons of all of the queens. In fact, you're the overachiever, of course. Of course you are. You're the overachiever, and I think that you've learned lessons of the kings as well. So I feel like there's something here that you are not expressing your emotions about. You're not telling people about the plans that you're making. It feels like you're making some plans under the surface, keeping it to yourself, which is the emotionally intelligent thing to do. But it feels like you're just, I'm going to say, figuring out the details. Figuring out the details before you decide to step forward. These are both energies that are fixed, right? Scorpio and Aquarius. Highly intelligent, but very strategic. I'm going to do it quietly. I'm going to make all the details, all the arrangements I'm going to make under the surface. The Empress isn't necessarily the one who's going to share all those plans until I'm ready at that time to execute. I think you're doing this now because you feel that something is about to change. I'm going to say that there is, I feel like the decision you're about to make is a really healing, balanced decision. But it is in a moment of alchemy where you've learned so many lessons, you've gathered so much wisdom, that it's going to be pretty easy for you to make this decision. But I'm going to say that it does involve cutting something out. And I think you're feeling a bit emotional about that. It makes you feel a little bit tumultuous under the surface. So you could be leaving a job, you could be leaving a career to begin another career. Maybe you're leaving your career to go back to school. It feels like there's a major change that's about to happen here because the Temperance card is on in the bottom of the deck. Bottom of the deck for me is future energy. Tell me more about this. I feel like this is the Empress energy is you getting your footing, getting solid, getting sturdy. Yeah, it does feel like we're working out all the details now. I feel like you've spent 2025 gaining confidence, building a reputation, maybe building a business, or just putting away money. Maybe you've been saving money. It feels like you have had a glow up. And when we say glow up, it's not all about the makeup and the hair and the suit. That's not what it's about. The glow up is about knowing what is for you and knowing what is not for you. It's about building boundaries. It's about making choices and decisions that are going to probably make you unpopular with the rest of the people that are around you, but you have to do it for your own stability. So I feel your glow up, although the inward work that you do does really show on the outside, I feel like somebody here has done all of the work, the mental work, the emotional work, and it's equated to you coming out feeling more strong and confident than you ever have, as in this Empress energy. We have the Two of Pentacles, so a decision is on the table. And I feel like this decision is something that needs to be made in the Pentacle world, which I mean, it's not in the mind and it's not in your emotions. You're making this practical decision based on the resources you have, based on the resources you want. It feels like there is a decision to be made, and it needs to be made in a balanced fashion here. The Wheel of Fortune is here. So you are expanding, you are changing. It feels like destiny is poking its head in here and saying, yep, absolutely, it's time to go. The Wheel of Fortune's not waiting for you to make your decision. It is, but it isn't. Do you know what I mean? I feel like you're already in this energy of making a decision, but I just don't think you're telling anybody about it. I want to say with the Wheel of Fortune, it's, we're in the year of 1, right? So Wheel of Fortune is card 10, break it down, it goes down to a 1, and I feel like this is the year. This is your year, Capricorn. It feels like this is your year for great change. This is your year to show everybody who you have become because of the wisdom that you have gained through all of the towers, all of the hard stuff that you went through last year. Look at this. You're on the bottom of the deck here, Capricorn, right? So last year, I feel like you were in your pre-Empress energy. It feels like this year you're in your energy of the Empress, but it also feels like you've mastered your finances. I'm going to say on the bottom of the deck. Yeah, you've created some sort of financial stability for yourself. So you don't really need anybody else in terms of the path of what you're about to go on. I don't think you need anybody else's help. And what I mean by that is you don't need to borrow money. Or you have the means by which you can borrow the money. Maybe your credit is now good. It feels like you've gone through a lot of changes and taken responsibility to work out all the very fine details while keeping your emotions under the surface and making some hard decisions about what you're doing next. Tell me about the King of Swords. We've got the Ten of Cups. We've got the Page of Swords. And we've got the Eight of Cups in the reverse. You know what? It feels like this is the year that you're really looking carefully or observing from a distance and making decisions based on what's really going to make you happy this year. Not just happy, Capricorn, but it's going to bring you joy. This is going to be joyful. And like I said, when you're a person who's very concerned about what is going on with you, and you are, then you become all of a sudden unpopular for people who were gaining benefit from you being an overgiver to them. So the Eight of Cups is in the reverse here. To me, that is revisiting something. It's something you went out there to check out all of the options that are out there. You didn't like the options, so you come back to something. I feel like there is something that you were looking at learning. To me, the pages are always students. This particular one is looking at knowledge, truth, honesty. Maybe it's language. It feels like somebody here wants to learn another language. It's like you're coming back to the point of something that maybe passed you by the first time. When it showed up, you weren't ready for it. And I feel like you're in the right frame of mind. You're in the right energy. This Ten of Cups being here, you're ready and clear, minded and emotionally balanced enough to be able to learn something. So I think you're coming back to something. So it feels like you're being honest with yourself. Yeah, well, maybe I was going to take that nursing course last year, but maybe I knew that I would have to go into debt for it. And this year I don't have to go into as much debt. Maybe I can pay, half of the loan off right up front. Like it feels like you just weren't prepared to learn whatever it was that you had to learn back there. And I feel like this year is the year that you come back to that. It feels like you backtrack something here. Bottom of the deck, we've got the Devil. Oh, I feel like you probably broke free. Yep, you did. You probably broke free from a toxic relationship last year. feels like you broke free from something that was toxic. It doesn't have to be a relationship. I mean, the Hierophant can represent marriage, but it also represents corporation, right? And I feel like you, last year you stood on business, and this year you're ready to break the chains that bound you. And I feel like you're ready to make a break for it here. Make a break for it with the Eight of Wands. It's time for you to move forward. It's time for things to move forward into a new direction. I think you're ready though, because the King of Swords is always ready, right? Always battle ready. Like the King of Swords is wearing the armor underneath their cloak. So I feel like the illusion that you're giving other people is, yeah, I haven't made a decision. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm not really sure. I'm kind of caught in my head. I think that's the illusion that you're showing everybody else, but I really think that you're ready to charge right into. I feel like your plans are already done and you know exactly what you want to do. So I feel like this year is the year of expansion. It's the year that you meet your destiny in terms of your career, that you either move into a new job or you move into something where you're going to be learning something new. It feels like the upgrade, the expansion, Sagittarian energy. It feels like it's something that is exciting and fun. And I feel like it took you a long time to get here because that's also fixed energy. Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, and Leo. All right. Let's look at finances. Tell me about Capricorn finances in this weekly reading. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about finances for Capricorn. Tell me about finances, Capricorn. Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. We've got the Six of Wands. You've got the Empress again. Look at you, standing up in your Empress energy here. And we've got the Six of Swords. It feels like you've had an ego death or you're leaving your ego behind. You no longer need it. Look, when you step into the Empress energy, you don't need your ego any longer. You are standing on business or sitting on the throne because you have you've earned your place there through wisdom, through lessons, through going through all the hard stuff, for getting, learning financial things, how to find your stability and taking care of your health on the inside and the outside. You've learned how to not overgive your energy, your emotional energy, your kindness, your compassion. You've learned how to be independent and go get what you want and not ask for permission, but maybe ask for forgiveness later. It feels like you are somebody who I feel has moved on from the ego, that you no longer require it. So you don't require external validation from people. And I feel like this is what you learned coming out of the dark night of the soul. It feels like you've had a really hard time in 2025, because whenever we see someone standing as the Empress, feminine or masculine, whether you're a man or a woman, it feels like the way you got here to this throne is like, she looks pretty confident. It's because I've learned all of the lessons and I don't need you. Yeah. So I can do what I want and create whatever it is that I want by myself. Empress is always in co-creation with the universe, right? So I feel like you have come out of this dark night of the soul energy looking great. Riding on the high horse. I feel like everybody can see you. I mean, it's hard not to notice an Empress when the Empress is in the room. This person is not only going to be beautiful or handsome, but they're going to be somebody who is also very confident. They don't really need your attention. So they don't really have their eye on anyone else, but everyone else has their eye on them. I feel like you've moved away from some sort of hardship or hard financial place in your life. And now you've learned the lessons. Like, part of the Empress energy is the Queen of Pentacles. And the Queen of Pentacles is the one responsible for finances and stability and finding home. And so I feel like you're leaving something behind here. Let's talk about that. Feels like you're leaving something behind here. We've got the Five of Wands in the reverse. You're no longer unsure of yourself. The Five of Wands in the reverse is, I no longer have hesitation. I no longer have this worry that I'm in competition. I know that I'm the top dog. I don't have competition. I'm the person who knows, who's very confident about making decisions. There's no more indecision. We have the Star. And we have the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, it does feel like you have gained a new sense of confidence or a new sense of reputation. It feels like you are probably, you've built something. It could be yourself, because we go from the 8 to the 9 Pentacles, and it could be self-mastery. So you could have built your confidence, built your reputation. I feel like you've had some sort of a glow up that happened on the outside that actually transformed you on the outside as well. And it feels like you have built yourself to a very confident, sturdy place in your life, that you stand alone, and whatever you have accomplished, you've accomplished alone. And I think that's why you no longer have hesitation. You're the person who's making decisions. You understand that the decisions you're making are healed ones. The star is here, and I feel like you're moving forward now to your wish fulfillment because you know that it's yours. It's the difference between wishing and hoping for it and actually knowing it's out there and going to get it. So I feel like you are now in this financial place where you're like, you know what? Nobody's going to tell me that I can't have it. If I'm not making enough money, I'll just create a way in my business or in my life to make more money. You realize that money is just really a vehicle, right? We've got the boat here, is really just a vehicle to get you from one place to another. A lot of people end up idolizing the financial situation, and I don't think you are. I think that you know that life is more than money, but we do need the money in order to be able to move forward in life. Let's see what the Empress is up to here. Tell me about the Empress. We've got the 6 of Pentacles, we've got the 2 of Wands, and we have the 9 of Wands. So I feel like you've got your back turned to anything that is going to make you overgive. It feels like this person being on the 9 of Wands has their back to any situations which are going to deplete me of my energy, which are going to make me feel like I'm back there living in my trauma. It feels like somebody here was at the point of burnout before they decided to pull it all in, pull their energy in to become the Empress. I feel like there's some decisions you're going to be making that are financial, but I feel like they're going to work out in your favor because you're very confident. And I feel like you're not only in this manifestation mode, but you're actually going out there to get it as well. You're moving away from anything that was very confusing or very chaotic, and you're moving to a calmer financial place in your life in 2026. We do have the 6 of Pentacles along with the 2 of Wands. It tells me you're making really good financial decisions because you're making really good partnerships. It feels like you're making very good decisions about who's good for you, who's with you, and who's against you. It feels like you are getting into relationships that are very solid, that are reciprocal, and so you give to me, I give to you. Those decisions are good decisions. I'm no longer associating myself with people who are going to deplete my finances, deplete my energy, deplete my money, and that's going to make you someone who is not very likable to the people who used to benefit from you being the overgiver. So I feel like you're in balance because when all 4 queens are here, you're very much in balance. It feels like you have no more hesitation about taking the spotlight. You don't mind if people see what you're doing, and you don't care how they feel about it, essentially, is what's happening here. We do have the Ace of Cups. We have the 2 of Pentacles. Yeah. So I feel like not only is your money in order, but I think you're starting to love the balance that you've created all on your own. It feels like you're making really good decisions, balanced, slow decisions, practical decisions, ones that are maybe just small investments here and there, balanced ones. It feels like you're really starting to love the new you that you've created. You've learned a lot. The Page of Swords is here. You've learned a lot. You've observed a lot. You have learned that things aren't as scary, 9 of Swords, as you thought they were, because if you don't like it, you'll just end it. You'll release it, and that's it. The Tower shows up for a reason, and that is to break down the illusion so we can see things for what they truly are. I don't think anything is scaring you in terms of your finances anymore. I think this is the year that you get it all together and that you sit on that throne, and people are going to have to watch you win. Maybe some people don't want to see you win. I'm just saying. All right, we always got the haters out there once in a while, especially when you start doing really well. Let's talk about love. Tell me about love for Capricorn. Sun, Moon, Rising. Venus and Jupiter. Capricorn, we're going to go into the extended with the love reading. Tell me about love for Capricorn. Coming up for Capricorn. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Jupiter in love. We've got the Queen of Swords. We've got the Three of Pentacles. And we've got the Four of Cups. You know what's going on here, I think? I don't think you're letting anybody get away with anything. Just going to say. You're showing up as the Queen of Swords, so you're kind of intimidating. You're a person who's just speaking your mind and being really honest. I feel like you want to build a really good, honest, solid, and firm foundation, and you don't want any. I feel like you don't want any. How can I say? I don't want to be dealing with anything that I'm not aware of that's going on in the background. I feel like going outside of your comfort zone is what you're okay with, but that's because now you're in charge. So I feel like you are liberating yourself this year in terms of love, because I feel like you're like, if it's not going to be a firm foundation, then go away. Don't do that. I reject it. If it's not going to start in Pentacles, if it's not going to start slowly, if I don't know you as a friend first, if we don't get to know each other before we jump in the sackaroonie, if you know what I mean, it feels like it wants to be slow. I want to get to know you. It feels like for some of you, you could have your eye on someone who is in your friend group or at work. It feels like you might already know somebody that you have your eye on. But I feel like this year is a no bullshit year for you. You're like, I make the rules. I'm going to put up my boundaries as I see fit. I'm going to liberate myself if it's not working for me. I'm just going to tell you it's not working for me. And this foundation is going to be built slowly and firmly. Otherwise, I'm rejecting it. Otherwise, I'm not in on it. No, thank you. I'll just go back to my comfort zone and I'm good. I feel like it's sort of like the Queen is making demands. It's like, you need to be my friend first. I need to get to know you. We need to make sure that we have an understanding of our foundation, cooperation, collaboration, and otherwise, no thanks. No, thank you. You're okay to be alone. And the Empress is. You've showed up twice as the Empress. So we've got the Eight of Wands. We've got the Four of Swords. And we've got the Three of Cups. You know what your boundary is? The Eight of Wands. I think you're holding up a boundary to the Eight of Wands. You're like, no. Like, you can text me, you can call me, but we're not going fast. It feels like the boundary that people are hitting is with the Eight of Wands with you. I feel like you don't mind moving forward, but you want to move forward slowly, organized. You want to do it in a very practical way. Let's do it from the beginning and let's do it right. And I feel like you don't mind going out, being social, having fun. I feel like you're down for this, if this is what's going on. But I think that the Queen of Swords is keeping her sword in the air, because I feel like whatever went on back there, whenever it was, December 31st or previous to that, it feels like whatever went on there, it feels like you probably were too emotional. You went through a lot of rejections. It feels like you're doing a lot of healing. And it also feels like you found your truth in all of that. So I'm going to say that it feels as though you gave your time, effort, and energies, or maybe even some of your emotions, to people who didn't deserve it, because you weren't strong enough. You weren't the Queen of Swords yet. You weren't speaking your truth. You weren't standing up and saying, no, I'm not going to deal with that right now. I feel like the Four of Swords tells me that you've healed from needing this. I don't think that you need to find somebody who wants to move things forward quickly. I think that you are in this sort of demanding energy of, it's got to go slow or it's not going at all. So the Three of Cups is telling me I'm going to go out there and meet people face to face. This is not swiping. This is, I'm going out there into social situations. I'm going to have some drinks, going to have some food. I'm going to make some friends, maybe a soul tribe. It feels like you're going to be meeting someone who maybe you'll be getting more acquainted with someone you already know, who is a friend of a friend, maybe who is in this soul tribe. It feels like you're down for pentacle relationships. We've got the Knight of Swords here. You're down for pentacle relationships right now. Friendship relationships. Let's take it slow. King of Swords on the bottom of the deck is, no thank you. If you're going to be trying to push me, rush me, nope, this is all on my timeline. I'll tell you what I need. We got the Three of Pentacles bringing, the Wheel of Fortune is here. We got the Hanged Man, and we have the Six of Swords. So I feel like things are already in motion, that you already do know somebody, or you have your eye on somebody, but things are in a pause. I feel like you're waiting to get a perspective of what is for you and what is not. I feel like this is the year, if you haven't met somebody yet, this is the year that you meet the person that changes everything. That's what it feels like. The Wheel of Fortune being here with the Hanged Man tells me that you will get your perspective, and when you're ready to move forward, you will, and it will not be chaotic. It will be calm because you demand that you have the foundation first. So I feel like this is the year that you meet the person that changes your life, or that you change the life of someone else. And it feels like it is expansion. It feels like it is destiny. So something is moving forward in a fortunate way for you, and I feel like that destiny is at your door. You're at destiny's door, but it also feels like this pause that you're in is like, no, I'm going to take it slow. I'm going to pause. I'm going to get perspective, and then I'll take a step forward, and then I'll pause, get perspective, and I'll take a step forward. So I feel like you are down for it. I feel like you meet the person who matches you, because look, the Queen of Swords can be a little intimidating, and only because she speaks the truth. Man or a woman, feminine or masculine, speaks the truth. And we are not in a world of people who like the truth. So this person isn't meant to get in a fight. I'm not trying to ruffle your feathers, but if you're not for me, I'm just going to say it was nice to have a date, but I don't think we need a second one. I think you're just going to be really honest here. So we've got the Eight of Swords, we've got the Seven of Wands, and we've got the Five of Swords. I feel like you're not down for this year. Yeah, if anybody is in this energy of, well, I'm not sure, maybe I'm not, you're like, no, thank you. No, I feel like you are got some pretty significant boundaries, and if you meet people who have fundamental differences with you, they're on the no list. I feel like you're not going to spend much time in the Eight of Swords this time around. Look, we're going to go into the extension, and we're going to clarify the rest of this. Thank you so much for being here and watching. If you're interested in being in the extension with us, please look at the top of the comments. There is one pinned comment. Click on more. You will see a link for the membership area where all the extendeds go. You can get 4 in a month if you want to join there. If you want to purchase this one outright, there also is a link there for that. And if you're interested in a private read, please click on the link for Hypsee. I have readings that begin at $25, which are on a 24-hour turnaround, and then it goes from there. It goes all the way up from there. So check my packages and whatever pricing I have there, and if you want to book a reading, I am open for those. So I'm going to go for now into the extended. If you'll be there, I will see you there. Capricorn, thank you so much for being here, and Happy New Year. I'll be back because I'm always back. Take care. Bye-bye.